All right, y'all. So I was expecting to say Jacqueline Cavalcanti dominates or wins over Julia Avila, but I was hoping this time around I was gonna say Cavalcanti TKOs Avila, but unfortunately it didn't go that way. Cavalcanti once again, she puts together another win, dominant win. Utilizes her IQ and her striking and everything, but kind of lets Avila off the hook, just doesn't go in there and completely, obliterate her opponent when she has her hurt. And that's the thing. Look, y'all know I'm a fan of Jacqueline Cavalcanti. I'm always talking about her as being another hopeful for the bantamweight division. But I just kind of thought that this was one of those call-ins in this type of fight where you want to go in there, not just slice and dice your opponent with your superior striking, but try to go in there and get the finish, because it was there. It was there. And I just kind of feel like Jackie let her off the hook a little bit in this one and didn't, go after the finish when the opportunity was there a number of times. Looking back at the first round right away, I understand the first round, how Jackie fights. She likes to go in there, get the feel of her opponent, measure her range, and do what a striker does. Just find the range, feel her opponent out, throw some feints around, and just start working off the jab. But even that, I didn't really see her working off the solid jab. Like, I didn't see her consistently throwing a jab to the face of Julia Avila. It was like she was looking for big shots when she was at mid-range. Then she would step out and wait. Avila was actually, building up a nice little lead on the leg kicks, in my opinion. She was landing some nice hard leg kicks on Jackie while Jackie was going upstairs. They were kind of, taking their, taking their pick. You pick the high road, I'll take the low road type of thing. Julia Avila hitting the legs, Jackie going upstairs, landing more of the combinations up top, landing damaging shots up there. So the first round, I clearly gave to Jackie, just kind of settling in, landing more strikes. But as the fight went on in the second round, Avila, was more on the back foot here, showing a lot of respect. She wasn't really, shooting or, dropping levels here. She was trying to lure Jackie into a brawl. And to me, that was Jackie's opportunity to, put together like the sequences, double jab, go to the body, right hand, and just kind of fire off in volume to kind of overwhelm Julia Avila. Because, Julia Avila, she'd been out for a little while, hasn't really had time to stay training because, she had a child, the injuries, all of that. So when you're looking at a fresh fighter as big as Jackie is, and, somebody who's as solid and polished as she is with her striking, I wanted to see more leg kicks from her. I wanted to see more jabs and, just cutting her opponent up that doesn't really have that much defense. But, she kind of let Julia Avila stand into the second round. And as she's, landing strikes, Julia Avila lands a nice body kick while Jackie lands a good right hand. But then Avila gets the takedown, after she starts, getting hit with these big shots. Finally, she gets a takedown and she just kind of nullifies Jackie towards the end of the round there. And while she's leaking, she's just, kind of biding her time to kind of recover here. And, this is where you don't want to see Jacqueline Cavalcanti in the future. You want to see her taking charge of the rounds and taking charge of the fight to avoid these type of situations, because as the fighters get bigger and stronger, Eileen Perez, Kayla Harrison, of course, you're going to have trouble with these type of Misha Tate, Yana Santos. You're going to have trouble with they's type of fighters. They're going to say, when I'm getting hit like this, all right, time to take you down, time to lay on you. Luckily, Avila didn't have that type of pressure and that type of strength. But going into the third round, this is where Julia Avila, she was kind of going for broke. This being her last fight, she was going for broke, and, she was throwing big shots. She was throwing big shots, putting it out there. And I know, of course, as a cautious, patient striker, you want to avoid getting caught. But to me, if you are a cautious, patient striker, you should be able to see them opportunities as well to see that opening, land on the chin, and get your opponent out of there. Again, that was a round where she was just cutting up Avila with the bigger, stronger punches, sharper punches, and, just kind of kept picking her apart with those peppering shots. But the opportunity was there to stop her. I clearly had the fight 30-27. Cavalcanti, she took it home in the third round. Again, I just think it was one of those situations where she's still working on striking. Not a bad thing. A win is a win. That's how I always see it. But if you see the opportunity there, you got to go ahead and take it. That's how I see it. Like, don't let your opponent stay in there any longer than you need to have them in there, until you execute your game plan, especially if they don't have the answer to your superior striking, That's how it was even like with Manon. I understand, like Manon Fior early on in her career, in the beginning, the girls were getting finished. Yeah. But as time went on, the rankings went higher, the stoppages stopped, so you have to adjust. But I still think that, Cavalcanti was in a position here at the lower part where these strikers like Avila, these fighters like Avila, the opportunities to stop them are there, because you still want to make them statements. You want to make them statements right now to put yourself on the map, to get on to headline a prelim, to get to the pay-per-view cards and so on, especially if you got the style. If you got the style and the skill to get them out of there, get them out of there. And that's one thing I'm always, harping over with Jacqueline Cavalcanti is, her surgical striking. Like, she slices you up. But the thing is, while you slicing them up, you can land that big concussive shot, because, she kind of has that stance kind of like Amanda Nunes. So I'm hoping that she starts sitting down on her power shots more and she gets them out of there, and that's where you just kind of see the difference between fighters like Amanda and Cavalcanti. Again, not a knock to Cavalcanti, like disrespect, saying she's a terrible fighter, a boring fighter, but when you see that opportunity, you just got to go in there and get it. So moving forward, when you fighting girls like Aldana, Miesha Tate, Miesha Tate's not going to stop. Miesha Tate's going to be in there to the end. She's going to take as many strikes as you can until you put her out of there. So if you just peppering her and winning comfortably on rounds, there's at some point you got to go in there and get her out of there, because if not, she's going to find an opportunity. Just ask Holly Holm, ask any of these other girls that see how she just keeps coming until you stop her, like Amanda. So just moving forward, when you look at it, I just need to see a little bit more from Cavalcanti, as far as the dominant factor. Even if she's not stopping girls, you gotta make it entertaining. You just can't sit back. And that's one thing I always say this. Look, people always knock Joanna. They call her the decision queen. But hey, that decision queen, she have you sitting, she have you on the edge of your seat with popcorn watching, because you know why? She be working all 5 rounds. She be working all 5 rounds. I mean, she be putting that jab in your face, switching up stances, leg kicks, just putting that volume on you. So that's my thing, is like, if you're going to be a volume striker, you got to make it entertaining too. You got to go in there and you got to let your hands go. You got to double the jab, bust your opponent up, be that butcher in there, make some mincemeat out of them, do something, like, even if you're going to take them all the way to the end, go in there and start working that face, crafting something until the referee stops it, or, the end of the fight is done and we just see an unrecognizable opponent standing across from you. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be entertaining like that, especially if you got the skills like this, like this. You got to go in there and get it done. So moving forward from here, Cavalcanti definitely deserves, maybe like a top 10 or 11. Miesha Tate's number 11. If you want to put her in there with Yana Santos, Miesha Tate, those are the ones that I feel like are going to test her next level, as far as getting your opponent out of there and also getting that respect from big, strong fighters that are going to press you back and take you down. So that's where that striking is going to be tested for real. Like, how sharp are you? How busy can you stay? Because being busy in there for her type of style is important. It's very similar, more so to you. Well, I think she could mimic more like a Joanna than she could like an Amanda, because she's not really delivering power like that, but she does deliver volume. But, you got to keep it going. You got to keep touching the leg. I know these girls are a little bit heavier than Joanna is, but still, when Joanna she was kind of a big straw weight, she was still working. She was still in there working. But overall, this is what you want to do. I don't want to discourage her, or people that think that you can't go in there and be cautious or, cerebral. No, like, you can, but if the opportunity is there, you got to take it. You got to take it. It's just like lions, when lions are hunting, do you think that a lion is going to let off the gazelle that's just laying there, that's already wounded by, a previous attack? Or do you think he's going to continue to stalk for hours upon hours, just looking at it like, oh, it's wounded, but I'm not sure. It might poke me with his horn or whatever. I'm going to just sit here. Then finally it walks away. Where you're going to do something like that, it's already wounded, but you're just going to sit there and watch it and keep stalking it for what? Just for the fun of it? No, you don't do it for that. Like, you got to eat. That's survival. So if you see that wounded one while the whole herd is gone, you take that one. You don't make it harder for yourself and go chase down the herd while the wounded one's laying right there. The wounded one's going to say, all right, I'm going to go this way. Guess he kind of stupid, so I'm going to go this way. All right, he ain't smart. So that's just what it is, man. Like, when your opponent is wounded and you know you have the skills, the superior skills to get him up out of there, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it, because I mean, hey, you do it, you get a bonus. Like I said, you get to a pay-per-view card, maybe headline or prelims, become a main event for a UFC fight night, right? So if you got the style, you got to know how to use it. You got to know how to work it. Hopefully she continues to evolve like that and, starts to, really put it together and work in there. But like I said, those are the opponents that are going to test her from here on. Shout out to Julia Avila. She's been around the game for a while. I know a lot of people haven't seen her, but I think that's best for her to retire too. She's already 36 years old, a child. I believe she has a gym, a lot of, nagging injuries at this point. Sometimes you just got to call it quits, when your body is telling you one thing. So definitely give a shout out to Julia Avila for giving us the entertaining fights that she did when she was here. Some of those knockouts like she did over Gina Mazzani and so on. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section what y'all think from here about Cavalcanti's performance. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.